Hello everybody and welcome to another day of Bookmas. So today I am reading books that I want to finish before 2025. So these are all books that I had put on a list and I haven't yet gotten to. I have 5 books on the list. So we're going to be picking 3 books. I don't know if we'll be able to read all of them, but we're going to try our best. In order to take it out of my hands, I've used the wheel of names again. So I'm going to screen record and we'll pick our 3 books. The books we have on the list is The Mime Order by Samantha Shannon, The Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco, The Ministry of Time by Kellyanne Bradley, The Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mehra, and The Gilded Ones by Namina Fauna. So those are the books and you should have seen that in a previous video, and we're going to try and read at least 3 of them. So first spin. I'm shocked by this because it's a fairly new book on my TBR, but I really just wanted to get into the series this year. I'm going to get that off the shelf. This is the first book we got chosen, The Gilded Ones by Namina Fauna. At the back it says, "Are we girls or are we demons? Are we going to die or are we going to survive?" In this bold and immersive fantasy, a young heroine fights to save a world that would dare tame her and discover she is her own fiercest weapon. This is very, very exciting. Like I said, I wanted to diversify my authors and my reading, so I grabbed this. It is YA fantasy and I'm actually really excited. It's a very, very beautiful cover as well, so I'm excited to see what I think. It is just over 400 pages and the font looks pretty good, so let's see what we think about this. Next book on the list is going to be, oh no, I didn't really want this one. I didn't really want it. The Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mehra. I've heard so many people love this book, but I've had it for so long and I actually tried to read it like, I want to say a year or 2 ago, and it just didn't grip me. So I don't know. It's been on my TBR for like 2 years almost, I want to say. I don't know how I feel about this, but I know it follows a girl named Evie. I've watched enough reviews about it, and she like is hit by hard times, needs to find a job, and no one's employing her. She stumbles upon this villain and he employs her as his assistant. It is part of like a 3-book series so far, I think, and everybody loves it and they say it's so cozy and fun, but I don't know if I like cozy fantasies, because I find them quite mundane and boring. Fingers crossed we like this one. So this is the next book on the list. Let's go ahead and spin for the final book of this video. Oh, there's one really long book on here as well. Oh, they're picking it. Why did I do this to myself? Okay. So I was hoping to get The Ministry of Time by Kellyanne Bradley. I really was hoping, but I thought I'd take the choice out of my hand, but it didn't choose this one. Oh, I really wanted to read that. I also really want to read Kingdom of the Wicked, but nevertheless, oh, my books are gonna fall over. We got The Mime Order, which is the second book in the Bone Season series. There are, I think, 5 books in this book series. I read the Bone Season, absolutely loved it, gave it a 4.5 or 4.75, can't remember, but I absolutely loved it. I just didn't really love the ending. It is like urban fantasy about clairvoyance and these underground syndicates, and it's really, really fun. They have like these beings, which I'm not sure if they're aliens or what they are, but they come from like the ether, and it's very, very, very interesting, but it's quite thick and I was hoping not to get this. It looks like we have an entire week of fantasies. Let's go ahead and read the books that I would like to finish before 2025 ends. Hello everyone. So we started The Assistant to the Villain yesterday by Hannah Nicole Mehra, and this is the first book I wanted to pick up because I didn't think I would like it that much, so I thought we'd just get it over and done with. It's cute and it's cozy, but it's really not what I enjoy. I'm not finding the humor that funny. I find it quite childish, if I could say it like that. It feels very immature. If you don't know what this is about, you should, because everybody's heard about this series. I think it's a 3-book series now. It follows Evie, who is the assistant to the villain. She has gone through some stuff, like her last employee she had an incident with and she lost her job, but her dad is sick and she has a young sister and she's the only one working in her household, so she really needs to find a job. She stumbles upon a situation in the forest and ends up meeting the villain, who then ends up offering her a job. The two of them kind of like each other, so there's like a little bit of tension there. Ultimately, it all just feels very immature. It feels very, very, very YA, like even middle grade, I would say, without all the gore and stuff. It's easy enough to read. It's flowing, it's going, but it's not something that I would look back and remember, in my opinion. So I know I am on page 115, chapter 17. Don't know if you'll be able to see there. And it is kind of dual point of view. It has a lot of Evie's point of view, and then here and there they'll throw in a like side of the villain. Everybody's spoken about this little frog over here whose name is Kingsley and how funny he is. I'm 117 pages in and he's spoken like 3 times, so for me it's like a nothing character. There's a mystery that they're trying to solve right now because someone's like trying to sabotage the villain's dealing. They're trying to figure out who it is because it's someone within their, what do you call it? What do you call it where they hide out? But anyway, it's someone within the manor where they're working in. So himself and Evie, they have an employee agreement which is in the form of like a ring, I think, or something like that. So she can't like betray him or lie to him or something like that. The two of them are working together to find out who this person is. Quite mundane, I'm not gonna lie, like a little bit boring, but it's easy to read. So I am also listening to the audiobook, so I'm kind of immersive reading. But I thought today for our Christmas activity, we'll go ahead and do some coloring in. I was actually gonna crochet, but I really don't feel like it. I just feel like coloring in. So I got this from, I don't know if you can see because of the lighting, I got this from The Works and it was really, really affordable and it's super cute. Obviously I won't color in right here in front of the window, but I might just do like the first few pages while we listen to the audiobook. That is the plan for today. I'm probably about 30% through this, so I'm hoping to get almost done with it so that tomorrow we can start our next book. But so far I'd say it's feeling like maybe a 3-star, like maybe 2.75 3-star. It depends. I definitely won't continue the series. Obviously we'll see how the ending is, like I just said. We'll see how it ends. So far I'm feeling like it's not my type of book. Personally, I don't like such cozy books. I prefer something that's a little bit more high stakes. So I literally already just filmed this clip and I forgot to plug in my mic. Such a rookie mistake. So I did color in. I'll just go through it quickly again because I just spoke so much. So I did the first page here, but it has a little title page there, which obviously is ruined now. I was saying that I have these alcohol markers and I'm not used to using alcohol markers. I usually use pencil crayons. Like back in, I want to say 2018, I got my first like adult coloring book and I used the Faber-Castell pencil crayons and they are great for shading. So I prefer prefer that method, but it is fun using the markers. It's just very flat and like one-dimensional. Yeah, I really like it. So I did that page, I did that one. I did a little border here because I was going to color in the back of the globe, but unfortunately I know it's going to be very streaky because it's such a big space, so I decided against it. And then I did this page here, which is probably one of my favorites. I just feel like I have like this weird obsession with like matching colors together, like blue with blue, orange with orange, pink with pink. Like I don't know if it's an OCD thing, but I always do it. So I really like the way that turned out. I think tomorrow we'll color in the next page as well, but for now I think we're done with this. And then I did reach the desired page for this, which is 242 chapter 41, so we're 70%. I am strangely growing very attached to the characters. I still don't love the story. It's not the best thing I ever read, but I'm feeling much more compelled to know what's going on. I find Evangeline really annoying and naive, yes, but I still find her character very endearing and funny. I love the villain. He's probably my favorite character. I love the relationship between Becky and, if you have read it, Becky and Evie as well. I find their little banter so funny. They secretly like each other, but they really don't want to, and it's got like this workplace rivalry. I thought that Becky was the problem in the book, but I don't know now. And I also love Blade, who's like the dragon trainer. Really love the dynamic between those four characters. It is very fun actually, but still very mundane, and it's still not my favorite type of fantasy to read about. I'm finding myself really intrigued to see what's going to happen here. So I think that's all I can say about it now. I am liking it a bit more, but it's still not something I'll remember forever. Also, the character of the frog, everybody was talking about Kingsley and how funny he is and how it's their favorite character, but he's not really mentioned that much. I think he's in like maybe every third or fourth chapter, and he just holds up these signs that are saying one word, but I feel like it's irrelevant in the story, because how can he be mentioned as a character where he is only on page like so little? So I don't know. I don't even know why that was relevant to bring up, because it's just like a little cameo of the frog. The frog has no relevance in the story to me. It's still fun. I'm excited to see what happens at the end if they figure this whole thing out, but I still don't think I will continue the series. It's still feeling maybe like a 3-star, like a solid 3-star now. I'm having a good time. Literally coloring in and listening to this book was fun. I giggled a couple times. I thought I figured out the mystery already, and I thought it was one person, but I was completely off track. So I'm curious. I'm really curious. I finally finished Assistant to the Villain. I actually finished it yesterday, but I didn't end up filming because my husband took the day off work and we just chilled all day, so I didn't check in. But I finished it, and I think I'm going to settle on a 3-star. I really did eventually like the dynamic between the villain and Evie. I thought it was really funny, really cute. It was very juvenile, like I said. While I was reading the book, they were growing on me. I do understand why there's a second book, because it leaves on a huge cliffhanger and we don't solve anything really. The mystery that we were trying to solve, I was completely wrong, very wrong and completely off base. But it was weird. The way it was done was good, but it was weird. But it's not a book that I'm going to think about again. Like, it's just a fun little story that I read, and I'll probably forget the whole premise of this. I had fun while reading it, I really did. So 3 stars for this. Then I did start on our new book, which is The Gilded One by Namina Fauna. I really love these covers. I didn't realize it said an exclusive African edition, because in this it's not just African, but it does cover a lot of like racism and political intrigue and religious propaganda, and it's really interesting. So interesting that I decided to tab. So I did buy new tabs, and honestly I'm flying through them because I'm actually tabbing a lot, and I like to tab plot points and things about the female character. Then again, I did propaganda, I did world building. There's a lot of world building. I'm currently on chapter 9, page 104 over there, and I'm liking it. The writing style is pretty simple. It's not too flowery or anything like that, but there's a lot of like terms and stuff, and I think this book could have benefited from having a glossary, because there's a lot of terms that I really don't understand. This is her debut novel as well. And then I want to just read you the synopsis, because it just explains it better than I think I can. So it says, Decker lives in fear of the blood ceremony that will determine whether she can become a member of her village. If she bleeds red, she will belong, but on the day of the ceremony, her blood runs gold, the color of impurity of a demon. The consequences forced Decker to leave her village with a mysterious woman destined to join an army of girls like her, the Alakai, girls who are near immortal with rare gifts and the only ones able to stop the Empire's greatest threats. But as she journeys to the capital to train for the battle of her life, Decker discovers the great walled city holds more surprises. Nothing and no one are quite what they seem, not even Decker herself. In the first bit of this book, first 100 pages, we go through her being super scared of the ceremony. She is mixed, it's like northern and southern blood come together, so she's darker skinned, and people find her really ugly because of this. So she's never really been able to fit in, and her dad, having married a southerner, kind of just puts a sour taste in everybody's mouth, and people kind of just, they look at her funny and they call her ugly, and they're quite racist and classist. Before her ceremony, she's really nervous about this whole situation because she wants to prove that she is pure, and she also deserves everything that the pure girls get. On the day of her ceremony, they go and do all their religious propaganda. It's about to be her turn. These things, these mythical creatures, which are called death shrieks, decide to invade her city. They start killing everybody. Their shrieks like make your ears bleed, and when they touch you, or they like, your skin basically melts off, and they have long claws that can rip off your head and stuff like that. She's terrified because her father is with her. She just like kind of explodes and is like, just stop, just stop. The death shrieks actually listen to her, and they end up just stopping and leaving. So this already puts everybody around her in a weird space because she shouldn't be able to control these demons. The eldest son, who I thought initially might be a love interest, stabs her and tries to kill her, and her blood initially runs red and then starts running gold, so she's a demon. They have this, I think it's called, I can't remember what it's called a death wave or something like that. They try to kill her in multiple ways and she just regenerates. They burn her, they drown her, they decapitate her, and she just comes back to life again. But they're also stealing her blood to use the gold because she runs pure gold. But then this mysterious woman comes in and tries to save her and tells her she can join this army, use her demonic powers for something good and defeat the death shrieks. She decides to do this, and that's kind of how far we've gotten. They've just gotten to the southern city, the capital, and she's been initiated into the army. So that's how far I've gotten, and it's really interesting. I don't know why this year I've picked up so many books that revolve around racism and classism, and I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, I'm really happy and I'm having a good time. I'm not sure exactly how I feel about the book right now. I can say that I'm enjoying it and I'm really intrigued to see where it goes, but I wouldn't say it's like straight up 5-star feelings. I do have the full series and I'm excited to see what happens. So yeah, I think that was a mouthful. I'm gonna go off and I'm probably gonna read up to like maybe 70% and then check in and let you guys know what I'm feeling. But I'm curious to see how she fares in this army and becoming a warrior. However, I didn't mention as well, she's a special type of demon, more special than anybody else because she's survived more deaths than any other demon. So yeah, very interesting. But I'll let you guys know when I get a bit further. I'm actually off shopping now with my husband. We're going to get some groceries, and then also I want to get some Christmas bedding if I can find any, and maybe some Christmas pajamas. So yeah, I'm just getting ready for that. So I won't be reading immediately, but I'll probably check in with you guys hopefully tomorrow. Also potentially heading out to a friend's house for dinner. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that is where I am right now. Very happy with my progress so far. The last book is the Mime Order, which is a really dense book. It has a huge glossary in the back, so I'm looking forward to that, and I just wanted to get these out the way so I can give that my full attention. Like I said, the Bone season was almost a 5-star, so I'm hoping that the Mime Order is good too. I'll chat again later. Sorry for the lighting again. It's just winter, so I'm going to be using a lot of different lighting, so I'm really sorry. And also, whenever there's a window near me, I always look out so much. I'm absolutely freezing, but I thought I'd give you a quick update. I've just reached chapter 27, page 298, which is about 70%. I only have this and I'm really liking it. It's still not a 5-star. I think, like I said before, it would have benefited from having a glossary because there's a lot of terms and a lot of things that like is not common English, so, or like it's made up language, so it would have benefited us knowing what they're referring to. So it's hard for me to imagine certain things. Like she's just come across this creature and it's become her pet, and it's somewhere between a dragon, a snake and a cat. So like I'm finding it really hard, and it's blue, but no one seems that shocked when it's in like a feline form, but like when it's in a dragon form or a snake form, I don't know, it's a little bit weird. I can't tell you too much now though, because it will be a spoiler. They have started training and they've now made like their own little regiment. They like their own little group. They've just had so much success because of Decker. She has special abilities that none of the other demons or gilded ones have. So they're using her specific gifts, I guess, to lure out the death shrieks, and like that's how they've been so successful. However, some people are still very wary of her because her eyes change color and she just emits this weird voice like a demon, and she can connect with these death shrieks and command them when no one else can. She's just found out something about her ability that is affecting her own kind, which is really, really weird. She has a special mentor as well, which I really like. She seems very like glued up and switched on, but Decca is very wary of her because she thinks that she has ulterior motives. I think I know where it's going, which is why there's a second and third book. Yeah, very, very excited. I'm happy with my progress. I think I will finish this hopefully today or tomorrow, and then I'll come back to you guys and let you know my final verdict. But that's kind of what I've gathered from it now. Like I said, I can't tell you too much because it will spoil it. Like, a lot of it is kind of cryptic. I think that's the word. It's very cryptic. It's not very direct. The writing isn't all flowery and pretty. I haven't like found any quotes or anything that I like that stood out to me. It's very like straightforward and just tells you what it is, how they're feeling, what is happening. I do have two favorite characters, which is the main character Decca and then her best friend called Britta. I really like the two of them. And then there's another one that's been introduced, and she's like a tough bitch. Her name is Balcalis, and I really, really like her as well. So yeah, I'm having a fun time. I read quite quickly. Like I said, I did have a sample of like an audiobook, so that helped me get through the first bit of the book, and then nothing else. But I have been annotating, like I said, but I need to add tab over here. I've only just underlined, but I'm using different tabs for different things, which obviously is a little bit more tedious to go back and tab. But anyway, I'm rambling. You can hear the washing machine, which has honestly made me so overstimulated today. I'm gonna make myself a tea. I'm gonna edit for a bit, and then I'll hopefully finish this today. Hello everybody, so it's been a while since I checked in. Actually, I think I checked in yesterday, but I finally finished it and I think I'm going to settle on a 4-star. I really did like it. I loved our female character. She was so strong and so determined, and she stopped at nothing. There were times where she doubted herself, as most people do, but other than that, I thought she was really strong. I loved where the story took us with the goddesses and different mythical creatures. Like I said, again, I'm going to repeat myself, the glossary would have been very beneficial, but other than that, it was a great little story about strength and fighting oppression and racism and classism and deceived and being told things that aren't true, like being brainwashed, and it was really, really, really interesting. I had a really good time reading it. 4 stars, really happy with that. The last book we need to read is The Mime Order by Samantha Shannon, but I'm not going to lie to you guys, I am feeling a little bit of fantasy fatigue. I need to take a break, so I'll probably start this tomorrow, but for today I think I'm going to read something else and film a different video. So I will definitely be starting this tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it, but I want to go into it with a clear mind because I really, really like the Bone season. So I'm really hoping that I like this too. Like I said, I'm having a little bit of fantasy fatigue, so I'm going to read something else and then we'll get back to this. But I'm very, very excited. I gave the Bone season a 4.75. It was so close to a 5-star, and I'm hoping this will also be just as good because I do really like the urban fantasy elements of it. It takes place in London. They have clairvoyance. That's their magic, is clairvoyance. So there's different types of clairvoyance. There's I can't, like, mind readers obviously, and people who can use cards, and people that can use pneuma and little articles that can tell the future and stuff like that. So it's outlawed, and they have this underground syndicate who runs all these clairvoyant situations, and they have these people who they revolted against because they were trying to outlaw them, what were they called? I can't remember now. That was in the first book. Scion. It was called Scion. There was this corporation. They were trying to outlaw anybody who had any clairvoyant type of of gift. They joined up with like this other race. I don't know what they are. They're like either celestial beings, aliens, or they're just, I don't know what they are, but I'm very interested to see where that goes. I will go off and read my other book, and then I will get back to you guys as soon as I start the bone season. Hi guys, so I have a little bit of a check-in. I am on page 84, chapter 6 right now. I don't know if I'm going into a reading slump or if I've burnt myself out over the last 2 weeks, but I'm not feeling this book right now, but I'm still going to push through. It kind of started exactly where the previous book ended, which was the bone season, where there was this kind of rebellion / revolution happening and they escaped a really sticky situation. However, they are now being hunted down. It started off right, like I said, right where the previous book left off, and I kind of remembered a lot of it, and as I was going it like popped things up, but I'm just finding it a little bit mundane right now. I don't know, I'm not feeling it. I'm really not feeling it. And I know a lot of people did say that, like the bone season was so exciting and then this book came and it was a little bit boring. I hope that it's not a bridging book. Some of the core characters from the first book are now not in it anymore, and we haven't been introduced to a lot of new characters, maybe one new character, and the way Paige is acting is just, it seems a little bit immature and not well thought through, even though it's really, really dire, the situation that they're in. Well, they all clairvoyants and they've been outlawed, but they're these beings that kind of feed off clairvoyancies and they're kind of taking over. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not having the greatest time. I think next time I'll check in, I'll try to get to 50% of the book. Today is Friday. It's like 1 o'clock, so I have a few things to do. I need to go grocery shopping and I need to edit. So I'm going to try and read tonight and tomorrow, and hopefully on Sunday or Monday I will check back in with you guys. But for now, I'm not having the best time, and this video feels like it's going on forever. I think it's a huge mistake that I'm reading 3 fantasies back to back. Like the first one was very unserious, which was Assistant to the Villain. The second one, The Gilded Ones, was a little bit more intense, and now this one is pretty intense. So yeah, it's got like a huge glossary as well, so you have to kind of use your like brain for it. But I remember some of the terms from the previous book, so it's not too difficult, but I don't know, I'm finding it boring. That's it. There's nothing intriguing right now, but I'm hoping it will pick up closer to the middle of the book, and yeah, we'll see where we end up. I'm still hoping that it will pick up and be a good book because the first one, 4.75, I was hoping that this one would like it be leaps and bounds better, but we'll have to wait and see. So until then, I think I'm also going to do some coloring in, which I'll bring you guys along for. I started another picture. Is it called a picture? Or just another one? Because I got new markers, which is like water based, and you can use like a water pen and then kind of blend it in and stuff like that. So I've been trying that. I don't love it. I think it looks like a child's artwork, but I think I might just complete that one, and then obviously I did that one, which I loved. So yeah, we'll probably finish this one and start another one because it is Friday night. I think I might start that one as well, but we'll see. I tried to look up the audiobook for the Mime Order, and it's really expensive, so when we won't be doing that. I think my mic was covered the whole time. I really hope that you guys could hear me, but anyway, I will check in with you guys when I have more to say. Hi friends, I have some very bad news for you. I've decided that I'm going to soft DNF the Mime Order. I'm just not in the mood for it. I signed up for a fun time and this is way too serious. It's really high fantasy and I just don't have the brain capacity to read this right now. I feel like I've been stuck in it for a while. I'm not getting as sucked in as I want to be, and I just feel like it's because I'm not in the mood. That's it. I'm just not in the mood. I really still do like her writing style. I like the high fantasy element of this, but I'm just not in the mood. We're doing Vlogmas and I wanted some fun, quick-paced, fast-paced book. Quick and fast are the same things, but fast-paced books that, you know, would be page turners and get me in the vibe, but this is just not doing it. So soft DNF. I got to page 182, chapter, I don't even know, we're in part 2 now. Yeah, that's where I am currently, and I'm not feeling it. So I'm so sorry to do this to you guys, but that was the last last book of the video. So just to recap, I actually had to watch back my footage because I've been stuck on this book for so long. I read a book in between and I just couldn't remember. It feels like such a long time ago. The first book we read was Assistant to the Villain. I did like it. It was a cute, fun story. I didn't think I would like cozy fantasy as much, but I think the audiobook with the narrator, she had this weird inflection of her voice where she went high at the end of every single sentence. I think that threw me off a bit, and I feel like with a different narrator it could have been higher. But even reading it myself, I just found it a little bit juvenile. Like the humor was very, very childish, but it was still fun. I got attached to the characters and gave this a 3-star. The Gilded Ones, I really like this book. I like the theme of these type of books that covers oppression and racism, classism, all of that. I hate hearing myself say those words, but I really do enjoy them. So this was a 4-star. It was really good and I would 100% recommend. I would also recommend the Assistant to the Villain, only if you like cozy fantasy, but just know that it's really, really low stakes and it's kind of just them venturing around like a day-to-day of their life. So not very high stakes, but still a fun palate cleanser. And then, like I said, the Mime Order, unfortunately, we will not be finishing in this video due to the fact that I'm not in the mood for it. But that being said, thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm sorry again for having to soft DNF, but I'd rather give the book a fair chance when I'm more in the mood for it. I'll probably pick it back up at the end of December, maybe January. Maybe I'll do another video completing books that I'm in the middle of, because I'm actually in the middle of a few books right now. That was fun. I got to a few books that I wanted to finish before 2026. That's all I can say for now. So I'll see you guys all tomorrow for a very exciting video. Bye, guys.